lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life is lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome to the Kool-Aid Monster Cup Series at Nashville. Last week we had Kyle Harbin win, and, well, not last week, but 2 weeks ago. We had the All-Star break last week, and Greg Wood will set on the pole today. It's going to be an exciting race. I'm here for it with Damon Lester. My name's Joseph Lester, and we're ready to show y'all a good show.
Absolutely, as these guys get ready for Nashville Superspeedway, Joseph, it's really like Richmond on steroids. You know, we have tracks all around. You know, we had New Hampshire a couple weeks back, which is like Martinsville on steroids. Now we're at Nashville Superspeedway, which is like a oversized Richmond. But we're looking forward to it. Like you said, Greg Wood's on the pole with a time of 30.271. That's a really good lap at this track on this fixed setup. So it's night racing at Nashville. We're going to have a great time, and we'll get ready to go through the starting lineup.
First, we got Greg Wood. Second, George Jewell. Third, Chris Pendle. Fourth, Ira Kohlhaas. Fifth, David Orfano. Sixth, Kevin Gibney. Seventh, Kyle Harbin. Eighth, Ron Morris Jr. Ninth, Todd Cleek. 10th, Nolan Pontriand. 11th, Jonathan Cogswell. 12th, Nathan Eastup.
And starting 13th, we got the number 1, David Motorspa. Starting 14th, George Kovacek. Starting 15th, James Santoyo. Starting 16th, Zachary Woods in the number 60. Starting 17th, we have the 08 of David Mayo. And starting 18th, Steve Rada in the number 3. Starting in 19th will be Bill Sleep. Starting 20th, Angel Santiago in the number 90 ESBN Ford. Starting 21st, we have John McIntyre. Starting 22nd, Zachary Cleek. In the number 37, starting 23rd, we have Sid Butler. And starting 24th, James McCanney. 25th, Josh Pontbriand. And 26th, Tyler Robinson.
That'll round out our field today. Not the biggest of fields, but it'll do. Greg Wood, like we said, is on pole. He'll be leading them to the green behind that Ford Mustang pace car. As they merge onto the track, it's going to be a night race tonight, so it's exciting. It's going to have a lot of grip since it's not as slick as maybe a day race would have because of the sun beating down, producing all the oil seeping out of the track. But we're getting close to this, and you can see Greg Wood swerving his tires a little bit, getting ready. And coming out of turn 4 at Nashville Superspeedway, we're about to be underway.
Yeah, as that Ford Mustang pace car dives on the pit road, Greg Wood brings them down to get us started tonight.
Greg Wood holds, and he's off and away. No, he stops it. He's off now. Now we got George Jewell behind Chris Pendle in third. He'll be on the inside, want to wrap right around that bottom. He was fast in practice along with Greg Wood. He'll come after Greg Wood down the back straightaway, and they'll all sort of single out.
Absolutely. These guys are going to have to let these tires get a little pressure in them and take their time. We already have one car up the track a little bit, the 29 of Ira Kohlhaas in that Mountain Dew Chevy. He's got it back under control now as Ron Morrison, the 76, gets around him. And then we have Kevin Gibney Jr. looking on the outside of Kyle Harbin there.
Yeah, it's really been good racing up front, but we got a battle for the lead. Chris Pendle is on the inside of Greg Wood. He'll go down into 3 and 4. Greg will just let him have it so not to burn up the tires, as this track is really harsh on these tires.
Absolutely. Here comes Greg Wood. He just falls back in line. It's going to look a little low, but they'll settle back in here as David Lorfano in third. He's catching up to the back of the 78 of Greg Wood, coming to battle for second.
Yeah, I don't know if it's okay to say this, but it's almost like these guys are the big three like we saw in 2018 with Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch. It just seems like these three are always the ones up front duking it out. But we got a battle for third now between David Orfano and George Jewell. George Jewell on the inside couldn't quite do it there, and that'll leave Orfano to the outside. That can work, but not as well as that bottom usually. George Jewell gets loose, and that'll open the door for Kyle Harbin to get by and for fourth.
And here comes Kevin Gibney Jr. looking on the outside of George Jewell, and already had the 76 of Ron Morris Jr. slow on the backstretch.
Yeah, just a little bit of trouble going down that backstretch, nothing much, but looks like we saw Ira Kohlhaas might have tagged the wall. No, that was George Jewell.
Yeah, Ira Kohlhaas Ira Kohlhaas just got around the 07 of George Jewell. Here comes Nolan Pontbriand. So George Jewell falling back a little bit here in the early stages of tonight's race.
And Chris Pendle is all the way up front, has a huge lead over second. It's about a whole second over second, which is pretty neat. But we go back to David Orfano. He's starting to close in on Greg Wood. Saw Greg Wood maybe step out a little bit in turn 2. We do have our stage break at lap 42, so maybe they're trying to save a little tire not to have to use a set during the stage.
Yeah, absolutely, Joseph. But, as we well know from, driving the old car on this track does loosen up and depending on how you drive it, it can also get a little tight on you. So these guys are just taking their time, trying not to burn their stuff up so they can make it last all the way to the end of stage 1, which will be lap 42.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent run. I believe they might have to make a stop for maybe fuel. But if you can do a no-tire stop and the fall-off's only about 8/10 or so, then they're set up perfectly. It looks like Chris Pendle might be burning up his tires because he has a 2-second lead over Greg Wood already. But we'll just have to continue watching that as this race goes on. We're lap 8 now. And Greg Wood's starting to gap David Orfano just a little bit.
Yeah, these guys are starting to settle in. George Jewell gets really high in 3 and 4 and does get into the wall in the middle of 3 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be an entertaining race, that's for sure. We've already seen a longer green flag run than we saw at New Hampshire, which was just plagued with cautions. But seems like we're doing a little better this week, and
we got one around.
He'll keep it there. That'll only be that won't be a caution since it was only one car. We do have manual cautions for tonight to try to keep it green a little longer, but Chris Pendle continues to lead. He has a 2.4 second gap, and it just continues to build.
Yeah, absolutely. He's, this track is a driver's track. It's a whole lot of throttle control. I took a car out when they were in practice, and if you get in the throttle just a least little bit too much coming out of these corners, the car will snap loose on you. So throttle control is going to be a big thing for tonight's race. And yeah, as you said, Chris Pendle up to a 2.7 second lead on Greg Wood in second.
We do have Nathan Eastep looking on the outside of Kevin Gibney. He won't be able to make it work through there. Will he be able to do it in 3 and 4 to try to take this 5th position? Oh, big wiggle out of Kevin Gibney. That'll open up the door for Nathan Eastep. Maybe Kyle Harbin. As Harbin has a huge run, he'll go to the outside. Gibney forces him up the track a little bit. Harbin's in the wall. They're side by side into one.
Absolutely, yeah. He lost a lot of momentum there, Joseph, and that gave Kyle Harbin and
Nathan Eastep. Big wiggle for Ira Kohlhaas. That made Nathan Eastep have to pull up out of the way. That could have been calamity right there.
Absolutely. As these guys are starting to slip around a little bit, these tires are getting some age on them. We've got about 12 laps on there. They're getting heated up. And the field's spreading out a little bit, Joseph. So, it's got a green flag look to it, that's for sure.
Yeah, it sure does. It's really looking like a good green flag race, which we saw in the Cup race last year in real life. If history really does repeat itself, we're starting to see that tonight. Big tightness out of Kyle Harbin. He might have smacked the wall coming out of 4.
Absolutely. These guys are starting to settle in.
It really looks like Kevin Gibney is sort of loose right now, and it seems to me that his car might come in later in the run just because of how he'll be able to wrap the bottom. And Greg Wood's starting to catch some lap traffic. Chris Pendle's up there still dominating this race with such a massive lead, but David Orfano starting to close in on Greg Wood.
He sure is, Joseph. And that's the thing with David Lorfano. He is a long-run driver. He doesn't push the issue early in a run. He likes to give things time to settle in, get his tires warmed up, and then he'll go to town. And he'll start, as you can see, he is right on the bumper now of Greg Wood in the 78 as Zachary Fleet gets a little high there in front of Greg Wood coming out of 2.
Yeah, he does get a little bit high up in the corner there. he's running that bottom cleek is, so if Gregory Wood catches him at the wrong place, that could open up the door for Orfano. And it looks like he might catch him in 1 and 2.
Yeah, and it's this track. Getting behind another car can really change the way your car's handling. So.
Oh, he got caught behind him.
He gets caught behind him. It's going to bring David Lorfano right up to the bumper of Greg Wood.
Man, Lorfano just couldn't keep the gas down. He was right up beside him, and I think he let out just not to trap Greg Wood behind Cleek.
Really a great battle here between these 3 cars. Even if the 11 is a lap down now, it's a great battle on the track.
Yeah, it really is. But while we're talking, Chris Pendle has a 4.5 second lead. He continues to pull away, and it's really insane what he's able to do.
Yeah, we talked to Chris earlier in the season. He really does have really good throttle control, and that'll you got to keep the wheels up under yourself at this track, and that's important. We've got some other guys. Nathan Estep started 12th tonight. He's up 8 positions to 4th. So he's going to be our biggest mover. I take that back. John McIntyre started 21st. He's up to 12th. He's up 9 spots tonight.
Well, I think if you go back even farther, James McCanney started 24th. He's up to 14th. But as we go back to the battle between Greg Wood and David Orfano, it's about the same. It's just really hard to pass at this track. Pendle has it up to 4.8, just continues to dominate this race. Lap 20, and we still haven't seen a caution. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these guys talked amongst themselves, and they wanted to do better. And they knew they could do better. So we've got a great green flag look to this race, and we're halfway through stage 1.
Yeah, we're halfway through stage 1, and as you say that, let's go ahead and go to a commercial break, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Welcome back. We're back here at Nashville Superspeedway for the Kool-Aid Monster NewGen Cup Series. And Chris Pendle picking him up, putting him down, Joseph. He's got a 6.2 second lead on second place Greg Wood. And one of the best battles on the track is between second and third of Greg Wood and David Lorfano.
Yeah, it really is. And as we're on this blimp cam watching, it's really hard to pass at this track, it appears. And that'll be an interesting thing to follow as we go on throughout the race. Orfano's able to wrap the bottom really well here. He's underneath him now. Just couldn't get the drive off. It seems like that middle line is just able to get the drive off and not allowing Lorfano to get under him and pass him.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of a mistake from Greg Wood, who does get a little high there coming out of 4. But I think it's going to take a mistake to get around that 78 because he's running the perfect line. As you see, David Orfano try a little bit higher line to see if he can get some momentum coming out of it, turn 2.
Yeah, it seemed like he just got a little bit tight up there. But as we're watching this lead, Pendle right now has a 7-second lead. Let's go ahead and go through the field here. With Chris Pendle in the lead. We got second of Greg Wood, third David Orfano, fourth Nathan Eastep, fifth Kyle Harbin, sixth we got Ira Kohlhaas, seventh Kevin Gibney, eighth George Jewell, ninth Jonathan Cogswell, 10th Nolan Pontbriand, 11th George Kovichik, 12th Zach Woods, 13th John McIntyre, 14th James McCanney, 15th David Monospa, 16th James Santoyo, 17th David Mayo, 18th Todd Robinson, 19th Steve Rada, 20th Todd Cleek, 21st Zachary Cleek, 22nd Ron Morris Jr., and 23rd Bill Sleep. 24th we do have Josh Pontbriand. That'll wrap up the guys who are on the track still. But great race so far. Let's go back to the Greg Wood David Orfano battle that we've been watching all night. And
we got another one in the wall behind them. Steve Rada getting in the wall there between 1 and 2. I'm sorry. So these tires are starting to get a little age on them. As you said, this track will really eat up tires, and it's really starting to show. The field really spreading out, and getting through this traffic is starting to be a chore for these lead lap cars.
Whoa!
Ooh,
Greg Wood almost got caught up with a lap car. That could have spelled trouble, but it seems like Orfano might not have got the best drive off once again. It seems like every time he gets to the bumper of Greg Wood, it just pushes tight or breaks loose. Greg Wood makes a mistake. That'll open up the door for David Orfano. David Orfano finally gets through. Now that he's by Greg Wood, will he be able to start pulling away and start eating into the lead of Chris Pendle? I don't know, but it's 8-second lead right now. It's going to be tough to catch him.
Yeah, you're right, Joseph. But David Lorfano's already pulled out a little bit of a gap on the 78. Like you said, tires are going to be king here tonight. So Greg Wood runs a little wide again coming out of 4.
Yeah.
David Lorfano's not really picking up any. Greg Wood is sort of falling off the pace a little bit there, but we're coming to we're on lap 35 right now. 42 will end this stage. So these guys are going to be ready for that caution to come out for the stage end to come in and get 4 Mr. Feelgoods.
Well, you said that he wasn't catching Chris Pendle. Well, he isn't, but he's matching lap times with him, and he was about 5/10 slower before that than Chris Pendle. So
it appears being behind the 78, it was sort of holding up the 8 of David Lorfano.
Yeah, it appears so. And as we wind through this, David Orfano is starting to be somebody that you could see put up the fight with Chris Pendle later on in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the type of race that really is sort of in David Lorfano's wheelhouse. He likes, like I said, we talked earlier, he likes the long run. He's not really a short run driver like some of these guys. So look for David Lorfano, especially with that last stage being, you know, quite a bit longer. We're going to be a good 50-lap run. You know, it definitely could fall right into David Lorfano's lap. We'll have to see how things pan out. But Greg Wood is falling back. He's about 9.5 seconds back now. So,
well,
and
5
Chris
laps.
Pendle's already,
5 laps to go, and looks like we might have a battle between Kyle Harbin and Ira Kohlhaas for this stage 2, or stage 1. Sorry. It just shows how fast this race is falling by. I thought it was stage 2, but anyways, they're battling for 5th, or about to, and right in front of them is Nathan Estep. So this is a really good battle for what we thought might be a relatively calm rest of the stage.
yeah, absolutely. These guys are really doing a great job tonight. Been some great racing out there. You know, just Chris Pendle's just on another level tonight, as he usually is. But he's just able, with this green flag run, he's able to get out there and really make some pace. So, been an interesting look to this race so far. As we see the 4th, 5th, and 6th place battle starting to tighten up as Kyle Harbin's looking on the inside of Nathan Estep coming out of 4. Looks like Nathan Estep will get that momentum and be able to still keep that position.
Yeah, we saw a big wiggle out of Kyle Harbin there. But he's able to roll the center. It's noticeably different speeds. He's going a good 2 to 3 mile per hour faster in the center of the corner. You just see him pull up to him. He's able to drive under him and couldn't quite keep it there, but he's closer than he was last lap. Coming to 2 to go in the stage. These guys are getting pretty dicey. They're side by side now. Kyle Harbin is gonna get underneath Nathan Estep down the straightaway. Will he be able to keep it? He is. Now it's a matter of who can get through 3 and 4 better. There is a little bit of a lap car in play, and Harbin not really able to get the center speed we saw, but Nathan Estep gets caught behind the lap car. They're 3 wide down the straightaway, coming to 1 to go in the stage. They're side by side, Kyle Harbin, Nathan Estep. Harbin clears him. Now it's up to Ira Kohlhaas to get by Nathan Estep, and Ira Kohlhaas looking to make a move, couldn't quite do it. Now we got Nathan Estep back on the outside of Kyle Harbin. He sent it in really deep. He won't be able to get the run off. That'll make it Nathan Estep in 6th, Kyle Harbin 5th, and 7th Ira Kohlhaas for there. Chris Pendle, of course, won the stage. Orfano 2nd, 3rd Greg Wood, 4th Kyle Harbin, 5th Nathan Estep, 6th Ira Kohlhaas, 7th Kevin Gibney, 8th George Jewell, 9th Jonathan Cogswell, and 10th John McIntyre.
Absolutely. So, you know, John McIntyre up 11 positions to the 10th spot. So getting into the points there to finish out the stage. So we'll let the field get caught up here. I think Chris Pendle's even outrun the pace car. So we'll let the pace car, he can get caught up to the pace car, or vice versa. There it comes as he pulls in behind that Mustang pace car. He is lapped up to the 15th place car. So only when we go, of course, we'll get, looks like James Santoyo will be our lucky dog here. But he's lapped up to the 15th place car. We'll have 15 cars on the lead lap when we take the green. As Chris Pendle brings it down pit road, ready to get those 4 Mr. Feel Goods and fill up with Sunoco racing fuel.
Yeah, he can get that car extra full because there is these guys, even on pit road, he's about to pull into his stall while they're still halfway through pit road.
Yeah, absolutely. As you have Greg Wood, David Lorfano side by side coming down pit road, and Chris Pendle's already getting his left sides put on as the crew goes around to the right side. And
Chris
Pendle's
Pendle's
already
off
out
and
of the pit.
away. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull him in here and see how he likes his car. Hey Chris, this is the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey Chris, it's Damon and Joseph in the booth. You got a copy?
Well, looks like we aren't really able to get a hold of him. We'll try to get him either under the next caution or the next stage. So, good stage win for him. We'll let him go back down to his team and hope to get in touch with him later.
Yeah, absolutely. Great run by Chris in that first stage. Really such a dominating performance. Coming off the pits, Greg Wood will be second. Looks like David Lorfano comes off third, so they swap positions. Kyle Harbin will still be fourth. And
Yeah,
our Kohlhaas up to fifth.
It was a good first stage. I mean, really good first stage, but a little less than 100 laps to go. So we still got a long way to go in this thing. But considering the circumstances, that was a fairly quick first stage. Took about 20 minutes.
Yeah. So great racing so far. Guys are sort of all over the track. You know, running different lines, middle. Let's see if we can grab David Orfano real quick, Joseph, and see how the cars are feeling out there tonight.
Yeah,
Hey, David, it's Damon and Joseph in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. You got me?
Hey, man, got you. So glad you got your PC problems fixed from earlier in the week. Glad to have you out here tonight. How's that car running tonight?
It's not too bad. I'm just trying to pace myself here. I don't know if Chris Pendle there, he's running pretty hard here to take that big of a lead. But I was just running behind Greg there for a while, and then he made a mistake, and I was able to get by him. So we'll see how it goes from here.
Well, good deal, man. Well, we'll get you back with your team. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, bud.
You're welcome. That was David Lorfano, our second place finisher. He'll start third in this second stage as we'll come to the green with starting lap 48. These guys are, as he said there, he thinks Chris may be burning his stuff up, and maybe that will affect him on that long run for the third stage, Joseph. So we'll have to see how things pan out here, but the pace, they're coming down the backstretch. The lights are out on top of the Ford Mustang pace car, and we're getting ready to go back racing.
Yeah, we're about to go racing, and it's gonna be exciting to see the rest of this race play out. But Chris on the inside, outside Greg Wood, third Kyle Harbin, fourth David Orfano. So here we go. Chris will lead him to the green, and he is off and away, and green flag is out. Greg Wood will follow behind him. Then we got a battle for third between Kyle Harbin and David Orfano. Orfano will have that. Now, big moment for Orfano in the entry of the corner. They are 3 wide on the exit. Chris Pendle, sideways. He's in the grass. This is the craziness that happens on these restarts in the Kool-Aid Monster Cup Series. The dominant car, 10 seconds at the stage break. David Orfano leads now. It's getting exciting.
Yeah, David Orfano will lead side by side Kyle Harbin and Greg Wood for second. I think all David Orfano needs to do here is settle in and run his race. As he said, he really had, and there he goes. Oh, we do have another. It's second and third place. Kyle Harbin and Greg Wood we have a caution.
That was our first caution for cause. Let's go back and look at this real quick.
Looked like Greg Wood, Joseph, coming off turn 2, gets a little loose. Comes down across the nose
Oh,
of Kyle Harbin. Not really anything Kyle Harbin can do. I mean, nobody's fault. Greg Wood just got a little snappy loose coming out of the corner there. I hate that for those guys. Not a lot of damage. It doesn't look like there's a lot of damage to either one of those cars, but we'll see how things settle out here.
yeah. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the rest of this race, and it's gonna be exciting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. As we have some guys catching up here and have to split the lead cars because they were catching the pace car too quick. So after all that excitement there on those first 2 laps of that stage, David Lorfano is our leader. Nathan Estep second. Ira Kohlhaas will be third. Kevin Gibney running fourth, and Jonathan Cogswell is up to fifth. So a whole new set of players except for that leader of David Lorfano.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody up front is different other than Lorfano. Now, Pendle is back in ninth, so I mean, it's not too bad, but he'll have to go and rebound, and I don't expect him to do anything less.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we said we try to get him in the booth under the next caution. Let's see if we got a copy now. Hey Chris, this is the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Still think we don't have some technical difficulties there getting the 6 of Chris Pendle in the booth. Maybe we'll get to talk to him at the end of the race here. We'll move him back with his team.
Yeah, and just a little bit of technical difficulties, but instead let's go ahead and bring in Nathan East up.
Hey guys, hear me?
Yeah, we got a copy, Chris.
Hey man, I'm sorry if you guys keep trying to bring me in, but I'm having to use my Discord, my phone for Discord tonight, and every time y'all try to bring me in, my phone disconnects, so I apologize for that.
No, it's okay, buddy. Congratulations on that stage 1 win. Got a little loose there on that restart, but how are the cars handling tonight?
Really bad. They're really bad. You got to feather these things entry, you got to feather things middle, you got to feather these things loose. They're so loose right now. And yeah, I was able to pull away there for a little bit. And I talked to Greg about it, and he was saving a little bit there. He was trying to figure it out, but Chiefs fast. I think tonight's going to be it's all about who can hold on to their car and who can be clean and patient that run. That restart there, I got a little greedy and got loose off the first turn, but I'm in ninth, so I think I got a fast piece. Hopefully, I'm back up there.
All right, brother. Well, good luck the rest of the way, and we'll put you back with your team, man. It's getting ready. It looks like it's getting ready to go green. Maybe next lap.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. Good luck, bud.
Thanks.
That was our stage 1 winner, Chris Pendle. Like you said, a little bit of technical difficulties there in the beginning, but we got him back in here, and all worked out. And like you said, these cars just so loose here tonight. Just so careful. You got to be on the throttle. It'll be exciting.
That's what makes it a great race, man. These guys are going to be feathering this throttle all night long, and I'm looking forward to watching this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it as well. It should be entertaining next 30 laps to the end of the stage.
Here we go. The light's right on top of the Ford Mustang pace car. David Lorfano is our leader. Nathan Estep second. Ira Kohlhaas third. Kevin Gibney Jr. will be fourth on this restart. So, as you said, it's going to be touchy on these first few laps, but I think if we can get settled in, we'll be back for another good long green flag run.
Yeah, we are, and I mean, it's definitely gonna be a interesting, hopefully long run, and I mean, Orfano finally got the clean air. Chris Pendle back in dirty air for maybe the first time this race. We're about to go back green, and we'll see how these storylines play out throughout the race. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Turn the notification on to watch great racing like this. David Orfano is leading them to the green, and it is off. Nathan Eastep on the outside, and Kevin Gibney looking to make a move for third. He'll be all the way on the top trying to make a move, arcs it down. You can see how well these cars are turning, and that'll sort of single it out for a little while. Lorfano has the lead, as we said earlier. He's a long run guy. He likes to save those tires. But let's go on board with Nathan Eastep here. You can see him get on the rev limiter into these corners. You can see him have to correct it on entry. And it's something we heard earlier, that it's just really loose.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think these guys are going to have to let the pressures build up a little bit. That'll help make the cars a little more stable. And you know, like I said, I ran some sort of laps before the race tonight. And that middle groove that they were running there, that Lorfano and we have one going a little agricultural racing going down the front stretch. But that middle groove really is, it felt like it was more stable. They had another car coming out of 2 going down into the grass.
Yeah,
there's action all over
whoa,
this track.
There we go.
Oh, Gibney saves it. Coming off 4, he got really loose. He's lost all his momentum. He's going to lose tons of positions there. As Ira Kohlhaas gets around Nathan Eastep for second, he sets his sights on the number 8 of David Orfano. Yeah,
and you just see David Orfano doing what Pendle did. Pendle 2.5 seconds back in 5th. He's right behind John McIntyre. Just kind of babying the throttle, making sure everything's okay. Looks like Steve Rada and Tyler Robinson got into a little bit of an incident. Let's see what happened. Tyler just got into him, and contact in the back of the pack.
David Lorfano's got a pretty comfortable lead now. He's looking, you know, almost a second lead over second and third place. He's just taking his time, you know, being consistent, smooth. That's what's going to take tonight, Joseph. You know, don't want to drive the car hard, but they're really going to pay for that on the end of the long run.
Yeah, you are, and you see Pendle get a little bit loose on exit. It's just these cars struggling for grip, and you see him wrap the bottom. He has a huge run. It looks like McIntyre will just get out of it. No, he doesn't. It was just he had such great center speed, just not so much exit speed. And this just goes to show how hard it is to pass. The dominant car all race, and gets caught back in traffic after one little mistake, and now he's kind of running 5th. Just hard to pass.
And so it looks like we got a couple of folks out there in the chat tonight. You know, let us know who we're watching. We got Danny out there. He's pulling for John. I'm assuming that's John McIntyre. John McIntyre up to 4th right now, as the caution will come out.
Looks like it might have been Kevin Gibney. We'll see what happens. Just snapped, and right in front of a ton of people. Harbin was lucky to miss it. Man, that was scary.
Yeah, that was right in front of Greg Wood. Oh, it looks like it got a hold of the 65 of Kovacic. And also the 9 of James Santoya. Unfortunate for those guys. It just happens so quick in these cars. As we're under caution here at lap 62. So these guys have loaded up. Will anybody pit here, Joseph, or are they going to stay out and ride it out to the end?
Well, I think pit road was open, so I think they're going to ride it out here.
Yeah, let's save those tires for the end of that last long run. That be some strategy tonight, I'm sure. That last run's going to be about a little over 50 laps, maybe just shy of 50, and may want to split that run in half.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. Orfano continues to lead after taking it over from Pendle. And, I mean, crazy racing up front. Let's go ahead and bring in Angel Santiago, our race control for tonight. Hey, Angel, this is the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys. How's it going?
Good,
Not
man.
bad. Can you just walk us through like what it's like to be race control in such a big track like this?
It's clearly hard. I'm not doing the best of a job out here. I'm doing my best with it, but the field is spreading out pretty good. I mean, this is probably some of the best like racing these guys have done all year long. I mean, with the entire first stage without needing that caution. And really, it's last caution, Gibney even said it. He just said, man, I just lost it out of nowhere. But yeah, it's kind of hard watching everybody. We're not doing cautions for single car incidents. So we're, trying to minimize the cautions. That way everybody can enjoy the races a little bit more. And I think it's working out pretty well, except for, the occasional person who loses out on their own and they lose a ton of time.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot, and we talked to a couple of the drivers already, and they mentioned that you really got to have an egg under the pedal because throttle control is really going to be key tonight. They really just have to baby it all the way through the corners. So thank you for coming in and talking to us, Angel. We appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, and you said it on the dot right there. It's you have to have an egg under these pedals. They're so hard to drive. They're it's so vastly different from everything else that we've raced with, and especially last season. It's such a learning curve for so many drivers, and I think we're seeing that week in, week out, and little by little, obviously, we're seeing the improvement in races and how these guys can drive. So, a track like Nashville, man, it's a ton of fun. This track, I hate to be missing it, but I'm having a blast watching it as well.
Yeah, it's been a great race so far. Lots of good racing all the way through the field. And Chris Pendle's making it interesting tonight since he got a little loose off too. So we'll see how he ends up. He's made it back up to 5th now. So the pace lights are out. We'll let you get back to work, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, appreciate it, guys. You guys enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That was our race control Angel Santiago. We're about to go back green here, so it's going to be a fun couple laps.
Actually, those lights are out on top of the pace car. Field's forming up. David Lorfano is going to bring them down to the green here shortly. So, the tires have a few laps on them now, Joseph. We've got about, 18 laps or so on these tires. So, they're going to have a heat cycle on them. So, this could be very interesting.
Yeah, it sure will. Let's see if Orfano can get a good jump again and keep Nathan Eastep behind. Here we go. He'll lead him to the green. Off and away. Nobody can really keep up with these guys on the restarts.
Yeah, he got a great jump there, and I think he just wanted to get out there so he could get settled in and not have to worry about anybody on the inside or outside. And Nathan Eastep drives it in deep as he loses the nose of the car a little bit. And Ira Kohlhaas is going to look on the inside of Nathan Eastep coming off 2.
Yeah, I mean, great racing up front. We go back a little ways and we see this 4-car battle for second. Look at Chris Pendle able to wrap that bottom. Will he be able to get under him? No. But, I mean, it's hard to pass here, and that's one of the unique things about this track.
Absolutely. John McIntyre gets a little wide there. Chris Pendle
Caution's
gets
out.
loose.
Let's... Oh, looked like Gibney might have got the wall and took Santoyo. Or no, that was David Modespal, my bad. But under yellow, let's go ahead and go to our second commercial break.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
We are back from commercial break, and we're still under caution here. I believe it's going to be next lap that we get these things back going. Really exciting race so far. What are your thoughts so far?
I'm loving the race. Once these guys get settled in, the field gets spread out a little bit, you know, like it did in that first stage. You know, it really just, you have guys running different lines. You cut Chris Pendle wrapping the bottom, and most of these guys sort of trying to run that middle line, just keeping that momentum, and that seems to be where the most grip is on this track right now.
Yeah, it really is. We'll have about a 10-lap run until we go back under yellow for the stage break after this. So these guys really starting to push it, trying to figure out how many positions they can gain before the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have about 10 laps to go to the end of the stage when we take the green flag. As the lights are out on top of the Ford Mustang pace car, Dave Lorfano on the front row, leading them to green. Nathan Eastep outside. Ira Kohlhaas will be third. John McIntyre up to fourth. Chris Pendle, after his little exciting run through the backstretch grass, he's made it back up to fifth. And Greg Wood is riding sixth right now. So these guys have been able to recover from those little incidents off turn 2, and we'll be going back green, and we'll see what else is going to happen here.
Yeah, let's go on board with Ira Kohlhaas for this restart and just see like what it looks like from his view.
Yeah, and this will be really good for the fans out there. They'll be able to see, how much these guys are having to feather the throttle through these turns. I mean, they're not getting on it full song until they're fully back on the straightaway. So David Lorfano takes off. He's catching these guys by surprise every time, and he's certainly got a good lead there. Here comes Ira Kohlhaas looking to the inside of Nathan Estep, going into one.
Yeah, he'll just have to back out there to keep it from looping around. You've heard how loose it gets, and he finally's full throttle, and he's a little bit over a quarter down the straightaway.
Yeah, you just really have to be careful. Here comes Greg Wood looking on the inside of John McIntyre for fourth. There's action all over this front five right now.
Yeah, there is, and it's really coming down to it being close to go time for the stage. John McIntyre really loose out of the corner, but he'll keep it going. One of the few saves we've seen with these cars throughout the season. But there he goes again. He's just really loose, drifting through the corner. Pendle gets around him, and he's going to fall back a little ways.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no drifting points tonight, but we have to give John McIntyre several for that last couple of corners. He certainly was hanging it out there, but he was able to save it and keep it going straight.
He sure was, and Ira Kohlhaas looking to make a move on Nathan Estep, coming to 10 to go in the stage. Not quite able to get there. Nathan might have hit the wall there.
Just a little brush. They're trying to catch David Orfano here. David Orfano's just trying to take it easy. He knows these guys are trying to get everything they can. Nathan Estep looking on the inside of David Orfano, going down the backstretch, going
side by side into 3 and 4. Nathan Estep might get clear. He does, and man, that's one of the few passes under green we've seen for the lead, and that'll put Lorfano to second and Estep to the lead. Now we got Orfano going back to the inside here, trying to make a move on Nathan Estep. Can't quite get the grip off. Ira Kohlhaas on the inside. Don't look now, but Chris Pendle is into fourth.
And here we come. Ira Kohlhaas right on the bumper of that number 8 Lucky Dog Detailing Chevrolet of David Lorfano.
Ira Kohlhaas got on the apron.
Yeah, he wedged that car a little bit. He got a little loose. That's going to bring Chris Pendle to him, and Greg Wood right on Chris Pendle's bumper.
Yeah, it's really been an entertaining past couple laps. And overall through the race, Ira Kohlhaas gets loose. That'll move Pendle to third. Greg Wood will try to follow suit, but he won't get quite clear. Ira Kohlhaas lets him go. Now Pendle looks to set his sights on David Orfano. David Orfano is starting to close back in on Nathan Estep.
Chris Pendle gets loose coming out of 4. That's going to bring Greg Wood up beside him, battling side by side for third. And Ira Kohlhaas right behind Greg Wood.
Side by side, Greg Wood, Chris Pendle, down the back straightaway. Maybe a little bit of side draft. These two are teammates, so they'll be working together, but not going to cut each other much slack as we've seen throughout the season. These guys have been beating and banging.
As you can see there, and we'll see it probably again here coming out of 2, when they ride right down that door of the other car, it almost sucks around as Chris Pendle gets on that apron a little bit and gets a little loose. It's going to bring Ira Kohlhaas to him and give Greg Wood. Yeah, Greg Wood will clear Chris Pendle going down the backstretch. Ira Kohlhaas right to the bumper of 6 of Chris Pendle.
Pendle look to the bottom. He's back on the inside. He gets that good run through center. Just quite couldn't do it. But let's go back up to the battle for the lead. And they are side by side. Orfano on the outside. E-Step on the inside. They're so close to touching each time around. Maybe. Oh, so close. E-Step gets pinched off. And that'll give the run to Lorfano. Orfano has the lead. And he'll get it clear. And he is going to set sail. Let's go back to the third place position, and Greg Wood, we see him starting to catch up on this battle for the lead. This is getting entertaining with 3 to go in the stage.
Yeah, Nathan E-Step looking on the outside of David Lorfano. As you say, as we were talking, that middle to sort of a little bit high line there coming out of 1 and 2 is really giving these guys a nice shot of momentum down the backstretch. As you can see, Nathan E-Step pulling her even with David Lorfano.
Yeah.
Battle for the lead. Greg Wood coming to look to challenge as well. Nathan E-Step gets a little wide off 4, but he still gets that run down the front straightaway with Greg Wood giving him a little bit of a push.
Greg Wood looking to make a move. Chris Pendle on the inside looking. They call this Nashville Superspeedway for a reason. It's starting to look like Daytona and Talladega as they're looking to go 3 wide.
Absolutely. Here comes Chris Pendle looking on the inside of Greg Wood as Greg Wood will slide a little wide there. David Lorfano pulls up.
Oh, so close. So close to contact Chris Pendle and Greg Wood. Chris Pendle looking on the inside of Nathan E-Step. Lorfano is not going to have the run off. Or maybe he will. Pendle on the inside. E-Step on the outside. This is the battle for second. And if one of these guys can get clear of each other, they can set sail and try to go for the leader. They almost touch out of the corner. They are side by side down the straightaway. And Greg Wood's on the outside now, making a move on Chris Pendle. No, we got one more lap. Chris Pendle on the inside. Greg Wood on the outside. And Greg Wood's going to look. He's going to have a good run exit. Will he be able... Oh, he gets loose. He had to lock him up to keep it. And that'll give Pendle the position, or maybe no. It's going to be side by side, and I believe Pendle has it. He does.
Pendle got a little loose right after Greg Wood got a little loose. That was some awesome racing there with the top 5.
It sure was.
David Lorfano will win the stage. What a series of laps there. What an excellent run.
What an amazing race this has been. This has been back and forth action all night. Pendle, we saw him make a mistake early in the stage. He went back to about 13th. He's already back up to 3rd. Will he be able to close in and restore that dominance he had in stage 1? We'll just have to see as these guys are about to go down pit road.
Absolutely. They're all going to get put back on a little bit of a level playing field. As the field forms up, we're going to come down and get some pit stops, and we'll see just how, as we get ready to settle in for this last run to the end here, we'll be just shy of 50 laps. It'll be about 45 laps or so when we go back to green. But man, what an awesome end of the stage that was, Joseph.
Yeah, it was certainly a great end to the stage, but as these guys go down pit road, let's go ahead and give y'all the first trivia question of the night. It's a fairly easy one. The first NASCAR Cup Series race last year at Nashville Superspeedway was an amazing race. There was a Chevrolet driver who won. Who was that Chevrolet driver?
I know who it should have been, but I won't whine. But so we had some pitch strategy. The 76 come off in we'll have to see where how everything cycles out.
But let's go ahead and bring in our stage winner, David Orfano. Hey David, we've already talked to you once this race. Great stage. What do you think you did that stage to have an advantage over those guys that might have had it in the first stage?
I'm not too sure. I mean, it got heated up there at the end. That was a fun race with Nathan there. I don't know. We got some fast cars coming. Pendle is behind us. Greg Wood is always quick here. So just trying to keep it up front here.
It looks like that the middle to high line is giving really good run off of turn 2. Is there more grip there, or how's the track handling right now?
I think it is. That second lane and 3 and 4 is starting to come in here. You get a little bit better drive up off the corner. I think that's where you're seeing some of these guys, make up some time, like Nathan and Greg Wood. They're running that high side, so I think that's the place to be.
Awesome. Well, buddy, we'll get you back with your team, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you guys.
You're welcome.
That was our stage 2 winner, David Orfano. Great second stage. It took us about 30 minutes or so to get through it, but that's alright. I'm excited for this next stage. We'll have about 40 laps once we go back green. 45 laps, something like that. Certainly should be interesting. We see some guys that stayed out. So, David Modespal will lead him to the green. Or, Kyle Harbin, sorry.
I think those are guys that may have had some issues there on those later cautions in that stage. So, we'll have to see how that plays out. But definitely is going to make it exciting, that's for sure, because both these guys in front were a little bit loose early in those runs. So, we're going to have to see how everything plays out.
We sure are, and the Kyle Harbin machine is going to lead him to the green on the outside line. We'll see how that ends up. We'll pitting a little before the stage work out for him.
Yes, here they come down the backstretch. As we said, the pace lights are out. The lights are out on top of the Ford Mustang pace car. Kevin Gibney Jr. is going to bring us down.
I'll go ahead and remind you before we go back green, just the trivia question is who won Nashville Superspeedway in the NASCAR Cup Series last year? So we're about to go green with Kyle Harbin leading and Kevin Gibney in second. He is already off. Big stack up. That'll have Nathan Eastep have a little trouble. Maybe miss a shift. Pendle might have hit him. And that'll spread out the field. Chris not having the best luck after that stage 1 win.
Actually, Ron Morris Jr. gets a little loose coming out of 2. David Lorfano gets a run right here. We got a spin on the backstretch. Like John McIntyre went around.
Let's go ahead and see what happened.
Oh, I apologize. That was Nathan Eastep that went around.
Nathan Eastep gets a little loose and spins right in front of the field and takes out Josh Pontbriand, Jonathan Cogswell. James Santoya seems to be caught up in everything tonight, but unfortunate. Really good race so far, though.
Absolutely. So just, for those that who haven't watched one of these races before, typically if a driver causes a caution, they're given an end of line penalty. It's just a rule that the league has. It's not to penalize anybody. It is a little incentive to keep the car under you. So, looks like Kevin Gibney Jr. went for a little fake down pit road, didn't bring anybody with him, so he's going to stay out. He's going to Kyle
Yeah.
Harlan will be shown as our leader now.
Yeah, that could be the call of the race to stay out there, get some track position. It'll be interesting to see once we get a couple more green flag laps how this plays out for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this race is just going to come down to he who can not go over the edge coming out of the corners and through the middle of the corner. That's really has shown to be, what's really affecting these cars tonight. You could hear where we were on board with Ira Kohlhaas there, really feathering the throttle through the corners. So, we'll get these guys. The field's sort of jumbled up right now. We've got some of our fast cars sprinkled through the field right now. So, our Stage 2 winner riding in third right now. So, just curious to see how these guys filter out here. So, here we come. We'll be going green this time. Next time around, let's see.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and do slow pit laps. Pace car lights are still on. But great race so far. Gotta say. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of work through this a little bit. In the Western States League on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. we got Brentley Glazer in the leading the points in the 87 Gatorade truck. We are going green this time. The way she goes Racing League is at Coda next week. Robert Hissong won at Atlanta. In the Ghost Cup Series, the winner at Indy was Kyle Spees. Next week's Rockingham. And SNN, the points leaders RJ Root. Atlanta winner RJ Root. And they'll be at Coda this week.
Here comes the Ford Mustang pace car coming out of turn 4. He's going to duck down the pit road as Kyle Harbin picked the outside line there. He gets a great restart. Bottles up David Lorfano behind Kevin Gibney Jr. as they go low there, trying to get around the 31 of Gibney Jr.
Yeah, I mean, great racing up front. And Pendle back in that 7th position, looking to make a move on John McIntyre. He'll be on the inside there. And John McIntyre looking to make a move on Ron Morris Jr. Chris Pendle going to put the pressure on Ron Morris. And side by side they are down the straightaway. Pendle will follow John McIntyre and try to make a move on the outside of Ron Morris. But Kyle Harbin and Kevin Gibney have a battle for the lead now. And these guys are both on old tires and they spin! Oh, Kyle Harbin goes around. Pendle involved. Ira Kohlhaas involved. Ron Morris Jr. Pendle. This is the big one. And they are still wrecking the 4 of Zachary Cleek. Man.
Oh, and Pendle gets hit again.
This is absolute calamity. Let's go ahead and watch Pendle's view. Well, they were already wrecking there. Looks like it had already started to... Oh, he locked it up trying to miss it. Went around, got hit in the side. Then got hit again, just spinning around. And tries getting to go and gets hit by Zachary Cleek. And just a mess on the back stretch.
Yeah, that just, that back stretch is not very wide, and when that car got loose and then cut back up in front of the pack, it was pretty much on from there.
I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate for those guys, but we'll get it back going. They do have a fast repair, and we're we're gonna see some entertaining racing the last 30 or so laps.
David Lorfano's back up front. So he was able to get by that mess and definitely shook the field up a little bit, but awfully exciting as we have 37 laps to go to finish this race.
We're coming to lap 98. Let's go ahead and pull in John McIntyre if we can get a hold of him. Not seeing him in Discord.
Yeah, it's probably going to be going green pretty soon. We'll see if we can't grab somebody maybe on the next caution. I think might need to give these guys a little time to cool down. As we're on lap 98 of 134 here tonight.
Yeah, it's still got one more, I believe. We're 2 to green. So we're still under pacing. Once again, I'd just like to point out, we do have the trivia question. Haven't seen any answers in the chat, but who won Nashville Superspeedway last year in the NASCAR Cup Series?
Young Money. Kyle Larson. As he did with most races last year.
Yeah, I mean, great season for him last year. 2 straight Hendrick Motorsports Cup Series championships. And looking strong right now with Chase Elliott leading the points. And everybody else having a win.
Absolutely. As they head Dakota this week. Certainly a strong track for Kyle and for Chase. So it could be like this season so far. It could be anybody's race. So we'll have to see. I think it's actually got a little bit better forecast than we did last year. So we'll have to see what happens going down Dakota this week. As the pace lights are out on top of the pace car, David Lorfano's bringing them through 1 and 2. The field's getting formed up. And we'll see if we can't see how if we can't get some laps down and get to the end of this race. And
I mean, great race so far. As we've said throughout the entire thing, we're about to go green once again, going through 3 and 4. David Orfano has led the majority since stage 2, but he'll be on the inside of John McIntyre. We'll see what kind of start McIntyre gets. Lorfano had the lead there. I'm all out.
Lorfano gets a great restart there. John McIntyre's going to fall into second. Greg Wood side by side with Kevin Gibney for third.
Yeah, and it looks like Kevin Gibney on the outside. Oh! Looked like there was a little bit of netcode between him and Greg Wood. And we saw a little for Greg Wood. And that might have a little damage on the right front. And it looks like he does. Ira Kohlhaas sideways in the back. Oh, and a huge wreck. We'll go back and see what happened.
Looks like he just running that low line. He got sideways and people were checking up. And
that was the previous wreck right there. I am sorry about that. Let's go back and watch this. Oh, it looked like it started a little bit farther back.
Yeah, I think they were checking up. Or some guys behind Ira were checking up to sort of give him a chance to get back. And yeah, just
yeah, just calamity is
Yeah.
all you can describe it as.
I think calamity is the word of the day.
It really has been. We saw a great stage 1 and into stage 2, but we're starting to see a couple more cautions, but I think we'll get it back going and keep it green. Maybe even a long green flag run.
As these guys are coming around here, riding around behind the pace car, we have about 31 laps to go.
But we'll see the lucky dog go by here. We see David Mayo is taking that lucky dog. We'll watch him go around for some decent full speed action while under yellow.
So, just to sort of give some perspective, at the end of stage 1, we had 15 cars on the lead lap. With David Mayo getting his lap back, we are now back to 21 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean, with drivers taking wave rounds and lucky dogs, that's got him back on the lead lap with a couple cautions here and there. But we should be going green the next couple laps, and we'll just have to see it play out.
Yeah, these guys are just riding around here. This is certainly going to help them make it to the end of the stage. We shouldn't have to see any pit stops for the rest of the race.
As these guys just slowly walk through these laps.
Yeah, as you were talking about some of the other series that we have here on ESBN, we had a great race in the Top Sail Trucking Cup Series with the All-American Racing League on Tuesday night.
Looks like we're about to go back green.
Yeah, we sure are. Patrick McQuaid won that race. Just an excellent race. Peter Terriot was our pole sitter Tuesday night. And it's very similar track to Nashville Superspeedway as these guys are coming out of 4 here. The pace car is off the banking, and David Lorfano will bring them down to green as he gets another great restart.
Big wiggle out of John McIntyre. Their cars are super similar. And Kevin Gimney goes around. That'll send McIntyre around, and they are wrecking big. Pendle involved. Harbin flipping. Just let's go on Harbin's in car here for the wreck. So we see cars spinning, and he thinks he's by it, and then bang! We see him get caught there. It looked like he just got hit twice, like at the same time on both sides, and it just flipped him around. But he gets it back going, and he's gonna get driving around. And hits John McIntyre.
Yeah, it just we'll say our word of the night: more calamity here at Nashville Superspeedway. Yeah, if you remember, for those of us who are with us in stage one, we've had a few people come in since then. Zachary Cleek had been put a lap down toward the closing laps of stage one. He has made his way back to third position. So great run for Zachary tonight in that number 11 Chevrolet Camaro.
Yeah, and as we see the lucky dog go by, like you said, Zachary Cleek is up there mixing it up. And we see him towards the end of races quite often. He just finds a way to avoid the calamity and decides that, hey, I might not be up front at the beginning, but I'm going to point my way into the playoffs by just keeping it calm.
Yep, I think in the words of Andy Griffith, there's only one word I can think about that last wreck. It was big.
Yeah, it sure was. Lorfano just working his way around the track as these long pace laps. These guys just slowly working their way around here. Pace car lights are still on. We're just working our way through, and the answer to the trivia question is Kyle Larson. Not sure if we covered that.
Yeah, absolutely. As Angel Santiago Race Control is in our chat, he said drivers getting a little antsy with the end looming. It's been a blast to watch so far. It's been some great racing tonight. Hopefully these guys will get settled down. We'll get this thing under green. We've got to have about 24, 25 laps to go as we come to the line here.
Just working our way through these pace laps. Orfano still leading Greg Wood on the outside, inside Zachary Cleek. Fourth will be Ron Morris. Fifth, Chris Pendle after getting some damage. Not really seeing much damage on that car, but he definitely, I think, has some. Unless he went down and got a fast repair.
Yeah, they do have a fast repair in this league, so he very well may have come down and gotten that fast repair with only 20 laps to go here.
As we're going to be going green this time. Hopefully we can take these last 25 laps green and determine who's the fastest on long run speed.
So we've got lots of cars out here now with a little bit of damage. As the field is formed up, we're coming through 3 and 4 now, getting ready to come down to green.
Yeah, I mean, just working through these corners. We're pace cars off. David Orfano leads. Greg Wood on the outside. Orfano's off and away. And here we go. He has a 2-car length gap already. Zachary Cleek on the inside of Greg Wood. He has suddenly shown up and is starting to flex his muscle. Chris Pendle on the inside of Greg Wood. He'll get there and be side by side down the straightaway. He has the help from Ron Morris. Will he get clear into 3 there, side by side? Chris Pendle dominant early. Can he get that dominance back and show that that first stage wasn't a fluke? Ron Morris goes loose. David Modespa loose. They're both spinning into the grass. That should not be a caution.
as you know, as they said,
Leak in the
single
wall.
fire. Oh, Steve Rada flipping on the backstretch. Like he got hung in the wall or something.
That wasn't it. I think it was involving Steve Rada. Yeah, Steve Rada. Oh, wow. Steve Rada collected by the 65. And it was on from there. But while we're under yellow, let's go ahead and bring in Zachary Cleek if we can get a hold of him. Hey Zach, this is the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
What's up, bud?
Hey man, great race for you so far, running in the P3 position. Walk us through how you got through all the wrecks and are now trying to plan and get by these guys.
Trying to plan to keep this car as straight as possible, because if you've been watching, it hasn't been the straightest. I've looked like I've been drifting every lap. On the wrecks, I'd say I'm just the right amount of tipsy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's certainly been a little loose out there. These cars are on the razor's edge going through these corners, Zachary. So we were just talking about how, you know, at the end of stage one, toward the end of stage one, you gotten put in a lap down by Chris Pendle. Now you're running third. So, man, you've kept that car out of the mess, and good luck here the rest of the way, buddy.
I appreciate it, guys.
That was Zachary Cleek in the number 11 Me Chevrolet, as he's got that car up there in third place. Great run by Zachary tonight, Joseph. And
Sure is.
David Lorfano is still our leader here. Greg Wood in second.
As David Orfano just continues to lead, we got 20 laps to go here, or 21. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, just
forgive you this time. It's coming down to it. It's going to be a little bit of a short run, but we've got these older tires. It's certainly going to make it interesting at the front of the field. Chris Pendle, even though he was caught up in that, one of those last wrecks, he's up to fourth place. So still got that car in one piece. That's one thing about these cars. They do take a little bit. They'll take a little bit more of a lick than those older Gen 6 cars.
Yeah, they will, but it's not that much of a lick, though. But because if you maybe hit the wall really hard, well, not necessarily really hard, just a decent lick, it'll still give you quite a bit of damage.
So,
But we should be going green with 19 laps to go. We got one more lap under yellow.
Yeah, I really wish that they would run the Cup cars at night here at Nashville. It would put on for a good show. That white track with all those good-looking cars out there certainly would be probably a whole lot easier on the fans, too, to be honest.
Yeah, it was burning up last year. I think it was like 90 or so degrees there.
Yeah,
that would have been miserable.
90s. Yeah, it was quite a hot race. It was a slick track. It will definitely be a good show this year when they head back to Nashville Superspeedway. The pace lights are right on top of the Ford Mustang. Pace car will be going green with about 18 laps to go when we take the green flag.
But yeah, we're about to go green here. I believe we've heard that it might go green to the end, even if there is a little bit of a stack up. And Lorfano's off and away. Pendle's going to push Greg Wood, try to get by Zachary Cleek. Good battle back there. Oh! They were really close in that corner. Almost contact. I thought they were touching. A little bit loose on the bottom. There was a red car. I'm not sure who that was.
Zachary Wood got a little loose off too there, Joseph.
Oh, Pendle loose. He'll save it. Oh, wow. Did you see the avoidance by those guys?
Yeah, well, great driving by those guys to miss the, Chris Pendle got a little loose there. But these guys are... Oh, as Nathan Easton gets a little loose, Zachary Cleek gets turned into the inside wall.
Madness back here. Now Greg Woods trying to catch up to David Orfano. Orfano has a 1.2 second lead. Orfano continues his dominance from the second stage on. And he's kept it out of trouble. And with 17 laps to go, it's going to be hard to make up that much time and pass him.
Definitely a lot of action, from third place on back. We got Chris Pendle. He's trying to catch back up. Kevin Gibney Jr. gets a little loose coming off turn 4. Ira Kohlhaas gets a little loose on the front straightaway. Chris Pendle.
Oh, contact! Nathan Eastep and Chris Pendle made contact going down the straightaway. I don't know how they kept it both straight, but Nathan Eastep's just going to let him by.
David Lorfano is starting to stretch it out a little bit. He's got a 1.4 second lead on second place. Greg Wood, as we come.
Oh! Into the grass goes Chris Pendle, and he'll just save it. What a drift through the grass.
What a save. I'll give him a 10 out of 10 on that drift.
Yeah, what a save by
Caution is
him,
out.
and yellow flag is out. I believe it was Nolan Pontbriand. Oh. Man. Contact.
It's like David Motorspall came up the track and ran Nolan Pontbriand up into the 65 of George Kovacek. And I think that's what caused that wreck there. Not really much Nolan could do as David Motorspall came up from the apron and
But while we're under yellow, let's go ahead and bring in race control one more time. And see what's up.
Hey Angel, this is Damon and Joseph in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Man, you got your hands full these last few laps. We've had action everywhere. What are the guys saying about the way the track's handling?
Man, these guys are not very happy with this track right now. It is all over the place for a lot of them. But some of the guys, it looks like they're having a blast out here, just wheeling these cars best they can. It's entertaining to watch, but yeah, these guys are having some trouble. But hey, that's the nature of these cars.
Absolutely. But just wanted to check in before we get ready to knock out this last 10 laps of the race. Looks like we'll be probably going green with about 10 to go. So been a lot of great action out there tonight.
Yeah, man, I'm enjoying it. These guys are fighting hard for it. We had a pretty overall great race to start, and I know it's been cautions precautions regardless of where you're at, and especially with these type of cars. Everybody's just trying to get the most that they possibly can. So it's hard fought for a lot of these guys. I know they're enjoying it. They're just trying to make it out of life here in the last 8 to 9 laps that we're probably gonna have before we go green.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thanks again, buddy, and we'll get you back down, and we'll run this one out.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the show.
It's been great so far. Thanks, man.
That was Angel Santiago, owner and race control. And this should be interesting to see.
Absolutely. As we have one more lap under caution. Well, probably a couple more laps under caution, and we'll get this thing back under green. Probably about 10 laps to go. So we're sitting here at 12 laps to go. David Lorfano, our leader. We'll go through the field real quickly here. Greg Wood runs second. John McIntyre third. Jonathan Cogswell runs fourth. Kyle Harbin in fifth. Ira Kohlhaas runs sixth. Kevin Gibney Jr. runs seventh. George Jewell back up to the 8th position. Ron Morris, another good run. He'll run in the 9th position. Steve Rada, after that incident where he got stuck in the wall almost, he's up to 10th place in that number 3 Chevy. Number 60, Zach Woods, run 11th. In 12th, we've got David Mayo, running 13th. We have David Modespa. In 14th, the number 4, Todd Cleek. In 15th, Nolan Pontbrown. 16th is James Santoyo. Running 16th, James McCanney. Back to 17th after getting caught up in a little mess there, Zachary Cleek. And then 17th, our stage 1 winner, Chris Pendle. Has been a couple little jaunts through the field, through the infield grass, but he's got her straightened out. Nathan Estep there for deep racing is behind him.
And then 21st, rounding out the lead lap, Bill Sleep.
All right, here we go. Looks like the lights are right on top of the pace car. We'll get the green with 10 laps to go, Joseph.
We sure will, and with 10 to go, that's not a lot of time. And we're going to see all these guys bunched back up. Greg Wood might be able to put up a fight to David Orfano and show him that, hey, it might have been your show for the last 90 laps or so, but it's my show now.
Absolutely. Well, it's all going to depend on this jump that David Orfano gets as we come around here for the restart. That's what's going to be important. So we'll have to see what kind of jump David Lorfano gets, and we'll see if these guys get settled out behind him. It's anybody's race right now.
It sure is, and as the pace car is about to go off, David Orfano will lead him to the green, and Greg Wood gets a decent jump. Not the greatest, but it's probably the best we've seen tonight. Greg Wood will be on he'll have lane selection into this corner. He'll not really be able to roll this corner quite as well as David Orfano, and I think David Orfano has taken off. And
he has.
I don't think anybody's going to catch him.
We've got a new player in the top 3 is Jonathan Cogswell. I'm sorry, he's up to 4th. Looks like Greg Wood gets a little loose there off of 4.
They'll be almost 3 wide. But with 9 laps to go, it'll be up to John McIntyre to try to close in on the lead of David Orfano. He already has a second, and I just don't think anybody has anything for him.
Here we come. Jonathan Cogswell is up to 3rd. Kyle Harbin back up to 4th. Greg Wood look on the outside of Kyle Harbin coming out of turn 4. Lots of side-by-side racing here. Jonathan Cogswell looking on the outside.
Caution's
of Kyle
out,
Harbin
Josh Pontbriand. Looks like he just got loose. Oh, they were spinning in front of him. And just...
stuck in the fence.
Yeah, just unfortunate for these guys. We should be going back green with about 5 to go. So...
somebody ought to help the guy out and just come up there and knock him off a fence. What do you think, Joseph?
I mean, if they want to do that, then I wouldn't blame them.
You know, it looks like he's towed it. It looks like...
well, David Orfano continues to lead. So, while we're under this yellow, let's see if we can get John McIntyre. Not sure if he's in Discord right now. It does not appear he is. But good race here today. And I'm excited to see the rest of it. Let's go ahead and pull in Kyle Harbin.
Hey Kyle, this is Damon and Joseph in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Hey man, you got that win a couple weeks ago at New Hampshire, and it looks like you've got another fast car. You're up there in third. What do you think you got for that 8 of David Lorfano?
I think me and him are about even, but I do know I got 10-lap newer tires, so that's all going to depend on this restart because I've been restarting bad. But I mean, if I can get up there to his bumper, I think I can get him.
Well, buddy, it's been a race of having to really watch that throttle control and having an egg under the pedal. So good luck here. Looks like we'll be going green maybe in another lap or so. But good luck, buddy.
Yeah, I sure do appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was Kyle Harbin in that 34 Chevrolet. Like he said, he has 10 lap newer tires than our leader, David Orfano. It's going to be interesting to see if those tires help.
Absolutely. David Lorfano's been up front for a good part of the last 2/3 of this race. Looks like we'll probably be going green with about 4 laps to go. You think who's your one to watch, Joseph?
Well, Kyle Harbin on those fresh tires. I think he might be the one to beat.
I think it's all going to depend on that restart. It's like probably going to have about 3 laps to go, so not really a green, white checkered, but pretty close to having 3 laps to go here. You got some new faces up front. We're gonna have Jonathan Cogswell. He's up there running pretty well. So
we're gonna go green this lap.
All right, we'll be going green here. The lights are right on top of the pace car.
Lights are out on the pace car, and David Orfano will lead him to the green. Kyle Harbin on those 10-lap fresher tires. Will he have something to say about who wins this race? Orfano's been getting the best jumps all night. We'll see if that continues to stay true. But let's go on board with Kyle Harbin. He gets a good jump. That might be the best he's gotten all day. And John McIntyre just cleared Kyle Harbin, and Harbin's going to be on the inside here trying to make a move, and you see that he's got clear of Greg Wood. He has any lane to choose now, and he'll look in 3 and 4, not quite that, and I think that him not getting through. Oh! They kept it straight. How did they do that?
Fortunate for John McIntyre, but
David Orfano just loved that.
Yeah, he's like, guys, y'all keep on racing. I'm just going to check out and go straight to victory lane as he's pulling away. And
and Kevin Gibney.
He did not want to see that.
Let's see. Looks like Greg Wood might have just gotten tagged, and that caused the caution. Man, unfortunate for him, but that gives Kyle Harbin a second chance.
It looks like Greg Wood got a little loose there coming out of 2. That's been one of the trouble spots all night long. And just slides up into George Jewell there. A couple other cars get some damage there. This will put us in a green-white checkered situation, Joseph.
Yeah, it sure will. And it's going to be entertaining to watch. We've had decently long caution laps all night. They have been shortening the cautions some. We'll see if they do that here. Doesn't look like they will in this lap, but they might next lap. David Orfano leads. Kyle Harbin second. Third, Ira Kohlhaas. Fourth, Jonathan Cogswell. Fifth, Zachary Cleek.
I think this is going to come down to who gets the best restart.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's what it's been all night. It's so hard to pass. But next week we'll be at Kansas. Week after that we'll be Martinsville. So two definitely different tracks than we have tonight. Should be fun to watch, and I'm excited to see these guys battle those tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kansas is a mile and a half. We're certainly going to be able to spread out a little bit. That should, these cars should be a little bit of drafting at that track. We'll just have to see how that works out. Martinsville, a lot of beating and banging. These cars are going to run second, third gear most of that race. I called the race earlier already this season in another league, and David Lorfano's already got lots of laps at that track, so we'll have to see how that all ends up for these guys.
Yeah, we will, but we're going green this time. I am excited to see this finish, and David Orfano and Kyle Harbin are going to go at it here. I just got a feeling, and Orfano hasn't been able to get it done this season. Will this be his night?
These guys are forming up behind the pace car. David Lorfano is our leader. Kyle Harbin second. Ira Kohlhaas third. Jonathan Cogswell fourth. Zachary Cleek back up to fifth. Steve Rada is in sixth. Nolan Pombrion seventh. Nathan Estep eighth. James Santoyo ninth. And George Jewell will be 10th.
So it's definitely going to be an entertaining race to the finish. We got two cars up front that have a chance at winning, maybe even the top five. Lorfano and Harbin. Race control
gets a great jump.
Race control has let the drivers know that there are no more cautions the rest of the race. So Ira Kohlhaas on the inside, trying to make a move on Kyle Harbin. Harbin's going to pinch him in the center of the corner, but Ira's just going to get a good run off. He'll get clear there. Can Ira catch the leader and David Orfano? Ira Kohlhaas. This is his chance to get up there and make a move on Lorfano. Lorfano, the fastest car all night. Lorfano is leading, coming to the white flag. Ira Kohlhaas is the fastest car on track, it seems, right now. Ira Kohlhaas driving it into these corners deeper than anybody else. David Orfano, he'll have to block low. He's going to be side by side into 3 and 4. Lorfano on the outside. Ira on the inside. Ira's going to get close to touching. Oh, and Ira Kohlhaas gets loose. Side by side. They drag across the line. Lorfano.
Orfano's going to win backwards.
Lorfano wins it backwards. That was the best race of the season.
What a run to the end there. That race to the
David Lorfano won this race. Wow. That was the craziest last lap I might have ever seen on iRacing. There was so much going on.
He won it by half a car length backwards.
I mean, don't see that every day.
And I gotta say it, Joseph. Have you ever?
I mean, we've had a lot of that this year, but no, I've never.
What a finish! And good thing this is iRacing because there was lots of cars all over the place there. A
Yeah,
great
and
race to the checker flag there. Great win by that number 8 Lucky Dog Detailing Chevy of David Lorfano.
while Orfano's doing his burnouts, let's go ahead and get Kyle Harbin up in the booth again. Hey Kyle, that was a great race for you. P3. What do you think you could have done on those fresh tires that would have gave you a shot to be up there with Orfano and Ira?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the restart, I didn't have a good restart there, so that's what cost me the win. But David and Ira, I mean, they ran good all night, and I mean, congrats to David for sure.
Yeah, so it was a good run tonight, Kyle. I mean, you had a couple of incidents there early in the race, but you were able to capitalize on some of the other misfortune and get your way back through the field. I mean, this is a fun track, and it was on edge all night. But you had a great race. But anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just thankful for Angel putting this on, and my teammates with Harbin Racing and my teammates at Southern Grown Racing Series, and thankful for y'all doing the broadcast. And like I said, congrats to David.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for making it exciting for us tonight, buddy, and have a good rest of the weekend.
You too, buddy. Thank you.
Uh-huh. That's Kyle Harbin, our third place finisher. What an exciting race there, Joseph. And he certainly, well, what a race. Amazing. So let's go ahead and grab our second place finisher. I'll grab Ira for us. Hey, Ira, this is Damon and Joseph in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Let me tell you what, that was one of the most exciting last laps that we've had for you guys all season. It was awesome. Great racing with you and David there. I mean, you got together, but it was just close racing all night long. Tell us how your race went.
Well, it was trying to figure out when these cars were just going to snap loose on themselves. It's almost like they got a mind of their own still, even with all the updates they've done to them. But that last lap, man, it was fun. I had to run down the back stretch, and I tried to back the entry up to get a run off, and I hit that bump that got me several times during the race. I got that bump and got loose, and then I was just pedaling it, trying to stay off of him, and I know I washed up some, and he was coming down a little bit, but his last lap, man, you're not going to take your foot off the floor.
Absolutely. It's a great run tonight. I know you, like you said, you had a couple of incidents there in 3 and 4. Not really incidents, but a little, but hit that bump and it gets the car unsettled. But great race tonight, Ira. And who you want to shout out tonight, buddy?
Definitely got to thank David Sparks and Pepsi Co. out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Got a new paint scheme on the car tonight. I don't know how long I'm going to run it. We're working on some new stuff, and we'll be debuting that soon. I thank Randy and Jennifer Sellers, RJS Automotive out of Fancy Farm, Kentucky. Got to thank my wife, Callie, and my 2 daughters, Clara and Lorena, for giving me the time to do this. They know I have a blast doing it. And we'll head on to next week and see if we can't do one spot better.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations. Have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next week at Kansas.
Thank you, sir. I'll be there.
All right, buddy. That was Ira Kohlhaas, our second place finisher tonight. Let's go ahead and grab our winner, David Lorfano. Hey, David, this is Damon and Joseph in the booth, buddy. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Hey, man, congratulations. I've been saying all season that David Lorfano, he's a long-run guy. And we had a little bit of a long run tonight, but it was played with cautions there the last couple of stages. Tell us about your race, buddy.
Yeah, it was a great race. Near the end there, the cautions were just driving me nuts because I kept getting great restarts at one point, pulling away with I think it was just over 10 to go, and it just killed me. And Ira came out of nowhere there at the end to give me a run, and that was a fun little run to the end. But most of the night was just not overdriving the car. I kind of preached to myself all night, and that's where I saw a lot of guys make mistakes is when they kind of push it. The car wants to step out very easily here. So I just preached, consistency, not overdrive it, and just make it to the end and put myself in that position.
Absolutely. Well, you had that lucky dog detailing Chevy out front for a good part of the last 2/3 of the race. And congratulations again on a great win. Who you want to shout out tonight, buddy?
As usual, I always got to thank Lucky Dog Detailing for the sponsor here, and Holy Old Cornhole Bags and Boards for jumping on board as well. And thank to Angel for letting me run with these guys, my first win with them, and it feels great.
Well, congratulations again, buddy, and have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next week in Kansas.
All right, thank you guys.
You're welcome, man. That's David Orfano, our winner tonight, and great race by him. And Joe, it's just all in all, we had all kinds of racing tonight. It's a great race. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, it was just a great race, capped off with a great finish here at Nashville Superspeedway. David Orfano had the car from stage 2 on. But let's go ahead and go through our race results. We got David Orfano with the win, Ira Kohlhaas second, third Kyle Harbin, fourth Steve Rada, fifth Jonathan Cogswell, sixth Nathan Eastep, seventh Nolan Pontbriand, eighth Zachary Cleek, ninth Todd Cleek, 10th George Jewell, 11th Bill Sleep, 12th Greg Wood Jr., 13th David Modesbaugh, 14th James McCanney, 15th Kevin Gibney Jr., 16th Zach Woods, 17th David Mayo, 18th we have John McIntyre, and 19th we got James Santoyo, 20th Ron Morris Jr., 21st George Kovichik, 22nd Josh Pontbriand, 23rd Chris Pendell, 24th Tyler Robinson, 25th Sid Butler, and 26th Angel Santiago. That'll be all for now. This was ESBN, and see y'all next time.